Hey, third graders. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Today we are going to be doing our math workbook, page 396, and then we will be switching to homework and remembering 6-2. So I think today is going to be a pretty good day for you. I think it's going to come quickly to you, hopefully. So, all right, here we go. Let's look at number 1. First of all, let's look at the directions. It says write an equation for each word problem. Remember, equation is just a fancy word for problem. Use a variable. That's where we can use a letter. It can be X or B or the first letter of your name. It doesn't matter. To represent the unknown part. So the part that we don't know, we're going to put that letter in there. You can pick the letter. You don't have to pick the same one I do. All right, let's read the first one. Daniel is setting up seats for the third grade play. There are 6 seats in each row. There are 54 seats in all. So we know that's our total, don't we? How many rows of seats are there? So this is the part that we don't know, okay? That's where we're going to put our letter. But I do know that there's 6 seats in every row. Okay, so I can take my 6 that I do know times whatever letter you want to put there. I'm going to start out with B. 6 times whatever that is equals 54. Okay, now I need to solve to figure out what B is. I need to figure out, that will tell me how many rows there are. Okay, so when I look at this problem, I can change it into a division problem to get my answer, which would be B. So now I'm going to take my 54, because multiplication and division are kind of like flip-flop partners, aren't they? So I can take my 54, divide it by my 6, and then I will get my answer, which would also be B. Okay, so what is 54 divided by 6? Yeah, I know you have your times table. I'm kind of hoping that you're getting good at these, that you might know a few of them, but otherwise use your times table. So 54 divided by 6. See if you can write it in before me. Did you say 9? I bet you did. So I can look up. I know that the word after many is rows. So my final answer is 9 rows. And I actually can look back at B, and I can also say B equals 9 because I just solved for it. I solved for B, okay? I'm going to draw a line in here. Usually we draw a line in between each one. Let's do that right now so we can show our space. So we're writing an equation that has a letter. Then we're going to flip it around and solve. Let's do another one together, and then I think you're going to have the hang of it. Mrs. Martinez is sewing on buttons for 4 costumes. Each costume has the same number. I don't know what that is, but it has the same number of buttons. This is my question mark, okay, because I don't know it. There are 32 buttons in all, okay? So I know that's my total. How many buttons are on each costume? So let's start with what we do know. We know there's 4 costumes, right? Times, pick your letter. I'm going to stick with B. Equals, do you remember what your total was? Your total was 32. Okay. Now I'm solving for B. I'm going to figure out what B is. And remember, this is a times problem, so I can change it to a division problem, right? So I can take my 32, because when we divide, our big number goes first. 32 divided by our 4 will give us our answer. Can you do that? Can you do 32 divided by 4? All right, write that down. And I'm already looking up to see what my label is going to be. Buttons. Did you get 8? I bet you did. 8 buttons. So we're writing 2 different equations, aren't we, on each one? I'm going to start this next one for you, but then I want you to do the last one by yourself and then finish number 13 as well. The library received 30, oh my goodness, Mrs. Egan. The library received 63 new books. The librarian will put 7 books on each shelf of a bookcase. How many shelves are there? Okay, so where's my question mark going to go? What part don't I know? I don't know how many shelves there are. Okay, I do know the total, right? And I do know how many books she's going to put on a shelf. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. Okay, I'm going to say that I do know it's 7 times something, put your letter in there, equals, and I know my total is 63. Now you are going to flip that around into the divide problem. You can do this. Remember when you divide that your big number goes first, okay? Write your divide problem right here, okay? Right there, and then it'll say equal, and then you'll put your answer with your label. Okay, I can look down at number 14, and it says there are 72 juice boxes for the class. The juice boxes are in packs of 8. How many packs of juice boxes are there? That's my question. Okay, so you're going to write both of those equations for that one. Okay, and then I need you to pause right now until you finish this up. And then when you're ready, meet me on Homework and Remembering 6-2. All right, friends, here we are on the front of 6-2. We're going to do a few together, and then I'm going to show you one thing on the back. We're not going to do the whole back, okay? So let's start at the top. Solve each problem. Okay, this is a little different than what you did on the other page. So I want you to remember that when you're doing story problems, that we always just assume that they're going to be times or divide, but on this page there are some that are plus, some that are minus, and so always be aware. Don't always assume that you're going to do times or divide. I know you're getting in kind of the routine of that. So let's draw our lines across so we can have our space to show our work. Okay, we are not doing number 6, so we can cross that off right now. And here we go. Number 1, Asha made 15 sandwiches. You're always underlining the numbers and the information. 6 were cheese, and the rest were peanut butter. Okay, we don't know how many. How many peanut butter sandwiches did she make? Okay, so think in your head. I'm starting with 15. I know 6 of them are cheese, so how am I going to figure out the peanut butter? Okay, if I'm starting with 15, do I want a plus or minus to figure out the peanut butter? Well, if I start with 15 and I take away the cheese, that's going to mean that the rest, whatever's left, is the peanut butter, right? So 15 take away 6. You can do mental math on that one, I bet. Okay. Write it in before me. All right, did you get 9? And then I can come over to my line, and that's where I'm going to say 9. And my label is actually peanut butter sandwiches, but I'm going to say, we can say PBS. You can abbreviate. Mrs. Hagen will know what you meant. Okay, so you're going to write your equation on the right and then put your answer on the line. All right, I think I'm going to look at number 5 with you. Okay, because I think you can figure out those other ones. Number 5, Brent has 81 miniature cars. There are 9 cars in each box. how many boxes of cars are there? So already when you're looking at the numbers, I'm thinking that you're thinking divide, aren't you? Because you've got an 81 and 9, right? So I have the total, which is 81, and I know that there's 9 cars in each box. But how many boxes of cars are there? So I'm going to need to take my 81 divided by 9 to figure out how many boxes of cars are there. And then I'll take whatever my answer is, bring it over to the line, and of course I'm going to have my label is boxes, so I'll put that here. I'm going to let you figure that out, and same with the other 3. And then meet me on the back. We just have a little thing to do on the back. So pause the video if you need to. All right, you are on the remembering side. It says complete the number line. Show all fractions, including each fraction for one whole. Okay, so they're going to tell you how they want you to divide it. So I can see on number 1, I need to show where 1/2 is. So they're going to have the little mark there, and then you need to write 1/2 by that. But what they mean by show all fractions, including the one for number 1, is we've learned that 1 whole is the same as 2 over 2. Okay, just like this would be 0 out of 2. And so if that helps you, 0 out of 2, 1 out of 2, 2 out of 2. So you're always going to be filling in, even though that number 1 is there, however many parts there are, you're going to be putting that for that last spot. And also, I think if it helps you, go over, like the next one's 4, say 0 out of 4, and then keep counting on the little hash marks. And I see on number 3, I can put 0 out of 8, 1 out of 8, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to label all the parts. You got that. All right, and we are going to say that 5 and 6 are extra credit. And I want you to, it says to draw a math mountain, and you guys did that in 2nd grade if you want. You can also just write an equation or a problem for that. You do not have to show the mountain, but if you'd like to, you can. The mountain is just where I have the number at the top is my total, and then I have my partners down here, which are the numbers. So like on this one, I can see that 16 is going to go on top of the mountain, but you're going to figure out, okay, so if I was doing this one, I would put 16 on the top, and I see I have one of my partners. I can see that 9 plates, but I don't know this partner, so I'm going to figure that out. All right, good luck, guys.